All right, welcome to Bad Parents Season number 2. Just a quick refresher. My name's Johnny Garbett.
I'm Shauna.
I'm a very scruffy Ryan.
I like
today.
it.
Nice.
Ooh. Do neither one of you have last names, or am I the only one with a last name?
I'm kind of like Seal or Cher.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kind of go by one.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Share or seal.
perfect. Awesome. Okay, so this is where we sit around and talk about being bad parents and how to make our kids better than we were as kids. And so thank you so much for joining us. I have a question for you to kick it all off, if you don't mind. 56% of parents say they feel overwhelmed by the amount of this. What is it? What do parents feel overwhelmed by? 56%.
Schedules.
Okay?
I'm going to say homework.
It's last names. Just kidding. It is email from their kids' school. And it got me to thinking about if just email from your kid's school was overwhelming.
Yes.
You'd take that amount of being overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems, Shauna, you have some new information in regards to what it's like to be a parent.
The United States of America has just issued a public health crisis because they say modern day parenting is so stressful that it's a public health concern. That's huge. It just came out in the news this week, and it's so cathartic to know that we're not the only ones that feel this way.
Does that mean I get hooked up with some Zoloft or depression medicine?
Probably. I don't
Right.
know what the answer is. Right now, they're just doing these studies, and they're saying because of all the modern day, like the double income families, the technology, the kids on the technology, all the stuff that we're dealing with that we know every day is leading to really burned out parents.
Does it make you feel better to know that somebody is saying that how you're feeling is okay, instead of like, am I the only one that feels like this? Am I the only person? But like now that actual people with degrees and things and being smart and going to university telling you that this is okay makes it now okay to feel this way.
It justifies it.
There's comfort in numbers. And I'll say that there's a common theme if you listen to season 1 of Bad Parents, and it'll probably roll through season 2 as well. It's at how parenting is so different now from when we were children. And just give you one example of something that we need to concern ourselves with, that our parents didn't have to concern ourselves. And we talked about it on our radio show this morning, Q107, on your FM dial or any way you'd like to get your listen to radio, is that when you had a school trip, or, Johnny, I don't know, did you make any sports teams in school?
Yeah. Grade 9 midget boys basketball.
Right.
And then Jamie Slaney told me I wasn't very good. I never tried out again.
Right. So that was bullying when it was fine to do that.
Right.
And so...
Nobody stood up for me.
Nobody had a buddy bench back then.
a buddy bench. A buddy bench. No, we had a dunce cap. And so what it was if you made a sports team or if there was a field trip, a bus took you there. Simple as that. And we were just talking earlier this morning that my son's got a volleyball tournament and he's got to be picked up at 3 and dropped off to another school and then picked up at 7. And so is that the end of the world? No, but it's just one other thing that parents need to try to figure out, as you mentioned, especially if it's a double income. It's not easy to do these sort of things.
No, and we're dealing with the same thing. Volleyball, my son just made the team. And as much as you want to encourage them, it's like you have to make every team.
I know.
Because there's games 2 every week now, no busing.
I wish my kids didn't take after me and just be so athletic, because it's inevitable they're going to make the team. Do you know I'm 5'7", and in grade 9 I was probably 5'4", and I made the volleyball team.
It's
Yes.
insane.
Weird.
But you were the setter.
I was the setter.
You weren't the spiker. So
Oh, yeah.
come on now. So in regards to what you were talking about there, I got a really great text. And tell me if this resonates with anybody, okay?
Okay.
Teachers in schools are groomed to make the craziest shit seem completely normal, and you're the only one who thinks it's crazy to have to get a kid to school sports event for 3 p.m.
Right.
Because in any other world, you're just like you look at everybody else, you're like, am I the I the one that thinks this is crazy? Back to your report on people saying, no, it's not crazy that you feel this way.
Yeah.
The whole world knows your ideas are crazy. The public system and the union who think that it's normal, and the mentality to just get to summer because then it magically all goes away.
Right.
And all the problems that you're speaking of now, or, at least up here in Canada, the unbelievable lack of bus drivers, nobody has the foresight to be like, hey, maybe we should deal with this, I don't know, in the summer when we do have a bit of downtime.
Yeah.
And then the problem is like, oh, so what's the problem with bus drivers? They don't get paid enough for what they go through, right? Okay. And there's a story recently in Southern Ontario where members of a Catholic school board went to Italy, 4 of them, costing, I believe it was $45,000 for travel, for food, and for accommodations. And they purchased about $100,000 worth of stuff for a handful of Catholic schools.
Yeah.
So you say to yourself, okay, here's the frustration. Bus drivers, there's money somewhere, pay the bus drivers so then they don't quit the day before. Or maybe bus drivers can take your kid to the school programs. Or maybe you don't get envelopes saying, hey, listen, can you help raise some money for a Halloween dance at the school? And sometimes when you talk to people who aren't parents, they're like, well, you have kids. You have kids. Why is it my responsibility to get them to places? You also pay taxes.
Yes, and I haven't had a bus to get my kid to school. Forget intramurals and sports. My 16-year-old has not had a bus, and it's already almost halfway through the year. There is no bus to take him to and from school because the driver quit the week before school.
And sometimes you think to yourself, like I'm thinking right now, are we just sounding like 3 kind of bitchy parents? But obviously not if people are saying it is a detriment to your health to raise children.
Sure.
So to answer your question, it is. It helps justify it that we're not, because sometimes you do think, why am I being so stressed out? Why am I complaining all the time? Our parents didn't. Well, they didn't deal with this stuff.
Right.
Sure. And I also
The
feel
old
that
man was drunk by 5 p.m.
I also feel like there's a graph that you could be like, this sort of overall parental stress. And one branch is school, and the other branch is social media, and the other branch is mental health, and the other branch is just like my kids won't eat vegetables. Like, and all of these things wrapped together kind of like make you crazy as a parent.
Ask yourself this if you're going back to what you mentioned about your parents. I don't mean your dad necessarily, Shauna, but could you imagine your dad in 1984 calling your mom saying, did Shauna go over her words today before the test? No. He's probably pouring a drink for his client. And then they're going to hit the strip joint at lunch.
Exactly. My dad had steak lunches at the Rippers while my mom was probably whatever she was doing, yoga maybe during the day, because we were at school and that was the world of school and we had buses and we had stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely they had a life.
I think one of the things that, the kind of misconception is, like in movies, you see these sort of tropes of different things in movies. Were there really business people in the 80s that had direct phone lines to the bar that they were at so they could still conduct business while at their watering hole? Or was that just like a Cheers thing for me?
I feel like it might have been a thing.
I think it did.
There's a part of me that goes to bed at night being like, I really hope it was simpler back then where you could just call the bar and talk to my dad.
Yeah. No, now you got to call the school to talk to the principal or the teacher because your kid's freaking out.
Yeah.
It's hard right now. It's hard. It is very difficult to be a parent when it comes to school. That is for certain. And I'll say this, I have 3 of them that don't like going to school. So it's even more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Just to get them there.
It's a health crisis. We're in a crisis.
Yeah. I need to drink.
Good for the first?
I think so. Yep.
Okay. Hi, Roz.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
All right, good.
You can't. I thought Tucker was on one side. It's on both sides.
You can't see it?
What's their name? Is Ryan Tucker.
That's fine.
Worry about
It's
it next
like
time.
Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Off what you were saying about us having this national sort of international parenting crisis, I decided to go to the one trusted source, more than whatever university this study came from. The doctors, the psychologists. I went to Reddit. Because you go to Reddit for everything, and they'll make you feel better about yourself, okay? So we play a game on our morning show. It's called Rank It, where I'm going to give you 5 different things, and you're going to blindly rank them 1 through 5 without knowing what is next, okay? So I just typed into Reddit, what's the worst part of having a child?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
There's only 5?
Well, I only have 5.
You pared it
We
down.
could do the top 76, but I just decided to do the 5, okay? So I'll give you one, and who wants to play? Because it's hard. You may have different ranks.
Do you want to play and I'll just chime in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I'll play.
so Sean,
I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
what's the worst part of having a child? Number 1, or at least number 1 on my list, okay? So rank this out of 5. Worrying about them for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I can't believe anything would beat that, but I hate to put number one off the top, but that to me is the worst. I'm going to do number one, right, Ryan? Number one, or should I save something for something worse?
Here's the thing. I'm just
It's
thinking.
never
out loud.
ending.
I know, but I don't expect to live a long life. So I'm thinking to myself, that's only another maybe 10 years of worrying.
But it's still technically the rest of your life. Whether you live, I have the under on that, by the way, whether you live another 10 or 20 years.
Just an interesting side note, how am I going to die?
Let's see. You are
Ticker.
you are on heart medication, and that's not a joke. And you refuse to take it for some reason. So I'm going to take the Shauna, and you're going to have a heart attack.
Okay.
We could rank that in another episode.
Is Ryan going to
Exactly.
die? Heart attack, number one.
So you've just decided that out of the gate, I've already given you the number one, what's the worst part of having a child, worrying about them for the rest of your life. I never thought I could worry about something more than when my first child came home as a baby, and when they sleep in the bed beside you and whatnot. I would have bet money that my child stopped breathing 75 times in the night. And it's never stopped.
Did you do the mirror? Ever do the mirror under the nostrils?
No, I just did the pat until they made a noise. I was a noise guy.
I went in there and said, "Are you asleep?" And then I creep in all quietly, and because my ankles sound like castanets, one of my kids would they'd be like, "Yo, Dad, I was sleeping. Why did you just wake me up?" And I'd be like, "Wow, you're speaking pretty good considering you're 3 months old." It was awful. I will say,
It still is, Ryan.
if you're new to the show, I have 3 of them. The first one, everyone I checked on less.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But it is a concern. And you're right. And I will say, we have all different kids at different ages. You worry about them for different reasons at different ages.
I have a sick kid right now and another kid probably being a truant at school because I got an absent alert. So it's happening all the time, even right now as we're working. So I can't see anything beating worrying forever.
Number one.
To Rye's point about checking on them less as they grow younger or whatever. Like your youngest one is 9. You still have yet to check on him, right?
I don't even know where he is.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
In fact, you can get a hold of us and tell me what his name is. Winner gets a Q107 T-shirt. Bad
Gets
parents.
him.
Mug. Yeah.
What's the worst part about having a child? They're always just there, on you, behind you, in front of you. Just a little speed bump impeding every task.
I'm not the most efficient person. That doesn't bother me. I know it bothers my husband. My husband likes to do things very efficiently. He hates how long my kids take to get out of the car. So I would say for me personally, I'm going to put that maybe around a 4.
Okay.
I'm okay with them being around.
I don't disagree, and I would say that gets easier as they get older.
Yeah.
Because they're more into their own thing, or you can have more adult conversations with them. I think your age group, like toddlers, when you're like, I
that's
just
true.
need a minute to do this. Like you say you're trying to fix something, like your sink or something, and you're like, I love you, I just need a minute. I think as they get older, that gets easier. So I think 4 is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say this, but every so often I can get out-touched.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where I'm just, I please don't touch me anymore. And I'm very physical. Like I love hugs and stuff, but that would be higher on my list.
Do you like when your wife touches your no square? Do you like that? Do you say,
Is
hey,
that on the list?
just touch me there? It's my no square.
No, that's not on the list.
Is lack of sex on that list?
It's not.
What about intimate relations whilst kids are in the room?
It's not.
gotta
Sorry,
do what you gotta do.
what's happening at your house?
What about the cat is in the room?
No, it's not.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the worst part of having a child? Being hungover on a Sunday morning, catering to a 3 and a 1-year-old.
Preach. I'm going to say that's number 2 for me, Shauna. I know you
yeah,
don't drink as much as me.
Two.
I remember my third one. I was dying, shaking, like holding him, trying to lull him back to sleep whilst watching The Littlest Hobo. It was on at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking I would give up any organ just to have both of us fall asleep. It is the hardest, the worst thing in the world is being hungover as a parent.
What do you call it when you give up alcohol? It's not celibacy. That's
sobriety.
Right. Sobriety. I decided to go 100% sober the day that my first one was born. Because I never wanted to be part of that scenario.
Your wife went celibate. You went sober.
Hey, man. She watches this. What's the worst part of having a child? Here's the 4th one you can choose from or rank it. Having to take care of a sick child when you're also sick.
Oh, that's awful too.
For me, that's the most challenging part so far. That's from Reddit.
That's a freaking tough one.
This right here is why I will always stay married. I would never, ever, ever want a single parent,
Uh-huh.
a kid sick. I just can't. You want to call it the man cold? You want to call it whatever you want? I'm not that guy.
I did it in between marriages. I was a single mom for like a blink of an eye.
Congrats.
And I remember being at a hospital by myself, and I was like, my heart bleeds for single parents right off the bat. Like, I can't imagine doing this. I wish I had saved that spot for a little bit higher. So
I know.
we've only got three.
Three
Number
and five.
three.
3 and 5.
Yeah, I go three because
Three.
I remember the whole family was sick. Well, everything. Kids were sick. And I remember one of them needed some fresh air, so I went outside and pushed him in pram. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's the English coming out.
Pram.
So I was pushing him in a pram, and I swear we suffering from scurvy, and I wanted to die. You want to die. Again, that's when you look to the heavens and you're like, I'll do anything for something to change here. It's an awful feeling.
How many laps of Big Ben did you do with him? Okay.
We're going to see the Houses of Parliament now, son.
Okay, do it. Do the please, sir, can I have some more? We can just be done with it.
Please, sir. Please, sir, can I have some more,
There
please?
we go. We're done.
Please, Daddy.
What's the worst part
Can
of
you
having...
eat an orange, please, sir?
Why did you even say anything?
Because I just want it out. What's the worst part of having a child? And you guys already blew through your top 4, which is this is top 5. And I think this one here with the hair is going to hurt her a little bit more than us. And this is watching them leave home.
Oh, wow.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, she's good.
I'm going to be fine.
Would you like a tissue?
You know, one thing that's caught me off guard is that my friends, because I have some friends in our group who've got kids a couple years older. So Jack is going to be 17. So he has friends whose older brothers, older sisters have gone off to university this past fall. I have cried for other families, and I didn't expect it. I've always been like, yay, empty nest, empty nest.
There's somebody that we worked with whose daughter went off to university and came in the next day, and you could tell was shaken, very upset.
Not stirred.
And this was like on a Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I said, hey, what's up for the weekend? And what was up for the weekend was a complete remodel of her daughter's room.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, how did you go from like crying at work about her gone to like erasing memories?
Right.
Probably,
couldn't believe it.
But it's healthy, probably.
It could be.
I think I'm going to be shriny. I'm going to keep them as little baby shrines.
Well, for myself, I mean, they would be the first Parkers to go to university. I mean, I guess technically we're more of a community college kind of family.
Yeah.
And I guess they could go away for that.
Well, they could work at a university.
Yeah, they could. What are they, like Goodwill Hunting? Yeah. That's the only way they get in, is being a freaking janitor. I got you. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be very weird. I can't even imagine it right now. And to be honest with you, the stories you hear, aside from maybe university, if they just work with the mortgages, kids are staying home for a long time. So by the time they leave, you probably want them to leave.
But that's why I like my answer for number one.
Sure.
Because the worrying encompasses all of that. All like my son's driving now. I could not relax till I heard that garage door open on Saturday night. It was about 10 o'clock. And I could breathe again. So to me, I like where I ranked everything.
There you go. I also agree with you. What's the worst part of having a child? Number one, worrying about them for the rest of your life. I don't think you can go wrong. It's called the natural out.
Why would you?
Why are you laughing at me?
Because he was almost like Mr. Roper, Mr. Jessup. And that's the top 5.
It's almost like you can't do
I'm
anything.
Casey Kasem.
I'm Casey Kasem. That's the top 5.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I did not sound like Seinfeld. There's no way.
Is that 2 done?
2 done.
Okay. Me? Let's get sexy. We going? Anytime? 3, 2. All right, here we go. Time to join the shallow end. If you're new to the show, you'll know that I am an idiot, and I like to keep things in the shallow end. And you guys are talking about stats and university and
A public health alarm.
right. You know what I'm talking about? Heidi Klum and her hot daughter. Now, do you think it's weird or not? You want to play a little game of weird or not?
Yeah.
You might have seen it in the news. Heidi Klum and her daughter Lenny, who's 20 years old, have modeled some lingerie together in a new campaign photo shoot. So it's 51-year-old Das ist good, Heidi Klum, and her daughter Lenny, both in lingerie. Weird or not weird?
I want to be cool and European and say it's fine, but I could never imagine it with my own mom.
Right.
No way. No underwear with your parents. No.
I would just like to, on the record,
Yes.
video and audio recording, that I don't want to wear lingerie with my mother in any way, shape, or form.
What about your dad?
I'd also not like to wear Speedos with my dad for any sort of photo shoot. Anything where, besides my lower arms and my lower legs, I don't want it shown with my parents. Like in a way that I've seen these pictures.
I'll take it one step further. I'm going to ask a question for you, Johnny, man to man. And I can only ask you because my parents are no longer with us. Would you even be comfortable? So we go over to Shauna's house. For some reason, your dad, Rick, is there. We're having
Like
a nice...
before me, like he spent the night?
No, you're all there hanging out.
Okay.
You have a nice frolic in the pool. You get out of the pool, and I don't know, you share some great news with your dad.
Sure.
And he gives you a hug. You're both topless and wet.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
I would, because I'm an overthinker, I would think so much I would save the news for when we're all clothed. Because I know
right.
that would happen. Like, I'm going to tell you this. Let's say there's a fire Christmas morning, and he's decided to spend the night. And it happens at 4:30 in the morning.
4:30, I'm there.
And we all run outside in our underwear. And thank God we all survived. And everything's okay. He's still just getting a fist bump. I don't know what else to say.
You're a prude. I think we're all prudes. I think the European way is the better way.
Yes.
I don't like that I'm uncomfortable with it. Like, I change in the private change room at the gym. I'm very prudish.
Oh, you're right. This seems very European. Now, she's German, right? I don't know
Yeah.
where they still live out there, but like even like topless beaches, you would go with your family. Like, it's just a thing. We are way more prudy over here.
Right.
Side note, do you think your dad does he wear boxers or Y fronts?
My father? Thanks for asking. I'm not 100% sure. Last time that I saw my dad in his underwear, I was 6. And at that time, it was just straight up tidy whiteys, but they were black.
It is a weird thing when...
A white waistband?
Yes.
It is weird though, eh?
80s.
It is weird when your kids, like, I'm sure, you know, as a mother, as a father, you know, you're nude in front of your kid, you know, when they're little or whatever. And then it obviously gets to a certain age where you're like, it's just not comfortable anymore, right?
Right.
Whatever that age is, it is for each person, right?
Ours was extended. Like, I'm more comfortable with nudity. I had baths with my son way too long. I brought it up once on the air, and people were like, "How old is your kid?" I think he was 4.
But
Is that
Eli
weird?
was 14. I mean, Jack was 14, and he's shaving next to you. Hey, Ma.
Oh God.
No, it's. I don't think that's abnormal.
Well, just because we did attachment parenting, I did extended breastfeeding. I did a lot of stuff where they seemed younger, maybe, than other kids, because we were doing so much of that style of parenting. But yeah, But at this age now, and the lingerie is different than walking around your house. Like, it's a sexy photo shoot. They're
Yes.
sitting together in sexy underwear.
Like, there's one point they're sharing a stool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think for me, and now thank goodness this is a video podcast, so I really want this to sink in. I used to sleep in the nude, and I really, really enjoyed it. And now that my daughter was born and my kids, I've had to put on clothes now while sleeping. And I don't like it. And I'm really going to hold it against them that I don't get to sleep the way Daddy wants to because of you.
Save that for the wedding speech, maybe.
Yeah, I think I might, because I really liked it. And now when they're not around, like at hotels or when I sleep over at somebody else's house, my kids aren't around, like then I'll sleep naked. And it's glorious.
It's true. I knocked on his door once, like when we did an event. He was already, like, he's just naked
He
all the
strips down.
time. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're listening and you say you do know us and you do know that Ryan Parksy, you love to hang in the shallow end, of course you're saying to yourself, Ryan, how are you talking about Heidi Klum and her daughter Lenny, lingerie together, and you're not talking about the old sportsman's double? So if you're not familiar, sportsman's double is something very, very rare. I don't know anyone that's accomplished a sportsman's double, and it's where you sleep with the mother and the daughter. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the same night, but it's a very rare accomplishment.
Oh my
So I said to
God.
myself,
Sportsman what? Double.
sportsman's double? Google it. And so I thought to myself, let me look up, is there any other potential sportsman's doubles out there
Oh my God.
when we're talking about celebrities? Go ahead.
I'd just like to say that I feel like the sportsman double is what people, if you need to have a massive flex in front of your friends,
Yes.
you'll throw out a sportsman double.
Yep.
I feel like a sportsman double is like a unicorn. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I don't think that any mother-daughter combo would be like, this is awesome.
No.
I can't wait to sleep together with you and do things. In fact, I'm uncomfortable talking about it.
Okay, then how about, because I've seen it in some adult films, would you give me stepmother and daughter? right?
What's that called?
I'll
Is it still a sportsman's double?
give you a sportsman double, a step sportsman's double.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, your father's out of town.
Okay.
Right?
It's like pickleball, the tennis.
Right, exactly right. He's not going to be home for a while. Ooh, you're bigger than your dad. You
Oh,
know, you
Okay.
see
no.
that.
All right. Get to your
Oh,
list.
sorry. Okay, so here's a list of. And I don't know. Tell me what you think. I don't know. I'm not that impressed. I thought I'd find better Hollywood mother-daughter combinations. Dakota Johnson and Melanie Griffith.
Well, that's a good one.
You're interested in
Yeah.
that?
I'm not.
Mariska Hargitay and Jane Mansfield.
Oh, these are great.
You know Jane Mansfield. You know the story behind her with the whole bar on if next time you're driving around in a truck, if you see there's a truck and you see like a bar underneath, like where the door shuts, that's called a Mansfield bar, because when she got in a bad accident, right, she died. And she went
did the old
underneath-
headless
She
horseman?
went under the truck. And
I didn't know that.
It's called a Mansfield bar because of her. I'm
like a-
99% sure that's true.
It's like a cow catcher for your head.
Eva Amori and Susan Sarandon.
I don't even know who the first name is.
I think she's done a few things.
She's the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of looks like a.
Can I just rewind for a second?
Yeah.
Marissa Hargitay is Jane Mansfield's daughter.
Correct.
You didn't
And
know that?
No, I had no clue.
I believe she was in the car when that happened too. As
Yikesies.
A baby.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Enjoy sleeping.
I love saying Mariska Hargitay's
I
name.
know,
It's so
I
fun.
know.
Kate Hudson, Goldie Hawn.
That would be my
Yeah, I'm
number
in.
one.
That's your number one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So much giggling.
Right.
All right,
And-
it's a happy one.
Who's Kate Hudson's brother?
Oliver.
Hudson.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot too. I think he's a funny guy.
Well,
No, I'm just saying, like the next morning, like for breakfast, he'd be there, right?
You're picking your sportsman double based on which brothers
Yeah.
at pancake breakfast.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
I like him a lot.
You saunter down. You're
Yep.
like, hey, I just banged your mom and sister.
Yeah.
Let's eat some pancakes.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a real enjoyable morning.
It's funny your name's Oliver because I was all over your
Oh
mother
my
and sister.
Yeah.
God, that is a weird angle
But
to take.
just
Very weird.
you want to talk about a cherry on top? Oliver Hudson.
Oh my God.
What?
That's so weird.
I don't care.
All right. And I'm going to go a little political here for this one. This is my favorite if I had to.
Okay.
Remember Sarah Palin?
Oh yeah,
Her daughter-
Bristol.
You know.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it to them. Sportsman's double. The Palins going all political. Know what I'm saying?
Well, there we go. There's an episode.
Sorry they don't have a cool brother, Johnny.
Yeah, yeah.
If only their brother was John Cena, then Johnny would sleep with them.
Well, there's episode 1
Yes.
of season 2
Wow.
of the Bad Parents podcast. If you have any comments, and I'm sure you do, please send them in. Email us at badparents@curiouscast.com. CA from our producer, Roz. Thank you so much. Roz, Mike, thank you for putting it all together. And until next time, I'm John Garbett.
I'm Shauna.
I'm Ryan
Can you throw in a last name, please?
Nope.
This
Parker.
and this has been Bad Parents.